everybody, it's Jenny from the Missouri Star Quilt Company, and I've got a really fun project for you today. This is based on a new product that Moda has come out with, and they're called cake mix recipes, and they're made specifically for layer cakes, and there are 4 of them. And what they are is this paper right here. You're going to lay this paper on top of your square, sew on the lines, and get perfect blocks. So there's all kinds of things you can do with them. This is number 1. See, the 1 is here, and then these are the ideas you get. And each one of these, number 2, has a whole slew of different ideas and different things you can do. So remember, there are 4 of them. We are using number 1 today. So let's take a look at this quilt behind me. All right, this quilt back here, this is so beautiful. It's made with Kate Spain's fabric, which I love. The line is called Latitude, and it's from Moda, and it's all these cool half square triangles. And of course, we chose the way to set them right here, the 3rd one in the middle. That's what we chose, and it just makes it beautiful. So what you're going to need to make this is you're going to need 1 package of 10-inch squares. And again, we've used Latitude by Kate Spain for Moda. And you're going to need 1 packet or 42 10-inch background squares as well. You're going to need a little bit of yardage for your inner border, 3/4 of a yard, and for this outer border out here, you're going to need 1.5 yards, and it is a 5.5-inch border. So it makes a nice size quilt. The quilt is 78 by 94, and it's just a really great size quilt and beautiful as well. So let me show you how to do this. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your solid square fabric, and you're going to put your printed square on top, right sides together, right sides. Then what we're going to do is we're going to put our paper right on top of there. Now take a good look at this paper, because this gives you all the directions, everything you need to know. There's a star right here that says start. That's where you're going to put in your needle and you're going to start. You're going to sew on the dashed lines with the little arrows. So see the little dashes here? And you'll see a 1. That means that's your first seam. So you sew here 1, look for the 2, over to the 3, 4, 5, and 6. Once you get all that sewing done, you just stay right on those lines, you're ready to cut. Now I have one here I've sewn, and it is we've stitched it in red so that you can see it. And then now also we have to pay attention, because this right here, see right here, it says cut this line first. So all the solid lines you're going to cut on, which means we're going to trim around these edges like this. We're going to cut on all these solid lines like this, but this line right here you want to cut first. So let's cut that. This is so much fun, you guys. You're going to love this. For people who are perfectionists or for people who are beginners, this is just perfect for you. Or anybody who wants a quilt that pretty. All right, so we're going to cut on this line first. That's going to give us these 2 pieces right here. So now we're going to cut on all the other lines, and I'm going to start on the outside edges. Just follow my line. This will also help with, sometimes we get 10-inch square pieces that are just a little different sized, and this helps with that as well. Very little waste with these. All right, so we've trimmed that up, and now all of our straight lines here, here, and here are where we're going to cut. So we're going to cut this one, we're going to cut this one, and we're going to cut this one. And because it's got that line drawn on there, I can just turn that right there. All right, these are our half square triangles. Now when you sew these down, that stitch needs to be about 12, because you want it to be small enough that when you take your paper piece off, it holds together. So let's go ahead and finish our trimming over here. And we're going to cut this little edge off right here. I just think these are genius. This is just such a great idea with layer cakes. Alrighty, now we are ready to go. We have all these cut. So then you want to peel your paper off. The easiest way to do that, again, keep your stitch length at about 12, and then fold it back like this, and just get it creased. The stitches perforate the paper, so it should come off fairly easily. And ours does. And then we're just going to pull this little piece loose out here. And sometimes, now if you want, you can sew your whole pack together, and then let your grandkids tear these off. They'd probably really love this little job. Alrighty. So anyway, what you're going to do is you're going to get all these papers off. Then we're going to take them over and we're going to iron them open. And what I did with mine was I really did go ahead and sew my whole pack because I wanted my quilt to be scrappy. Because obviously out of one square color, you're only getting the one color, and I wanted them to scrap them up. So let's make this fold. I'm going to fold my little piece in too, see if that makes it any faster. And, ooh, that did help. All right. Tried and true. By the time you've done a million of these, you're going to be so good at it. All righty. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go over and press these open. I'm going to turn mine so that the dark side is up. Give them all a press. And then iron them back. Iron to the dark side. Just like this. Another good thing about this is that you don't have to square these up because they're already perfectly squared. So now over here, now usually I would, again, what I would do is I would scrap them all up and then I would mix them all up to sew them together. But I'm going to show you how this works. I'm going to get rid of this paper first. I'm going to show you how this works when you, everybody always worries when I throw stuff right off the desk, but there's like a little drawer down here that I put it right in, so it keeps it contained. So don't worry about my trash. All right, so what I'm going to do here is, even though I have the same colors, I'm going to go ahead and sew these together. This one we're going to leave. These small ones we're going to put together, and we're going to put them all going the same direction, like this. And I'm just going to flip this around so it makes sense in my brain. So you're going to sew this together as a 4-patch. When you get this sewn together, it will match up with this block out here. So let's go ahead and sew this together. And again, normally, I mean, if you want to do a 2-color quilt, this is a great way to do it, but I would mix them all up. I just love the scrappy look, love them all mixed up. All right, so now you're just going to sew these together using your 1/4 inch. And sew these together. Then we should be able to sew this whole block together, and we want to make sure they're still all facing the same direction, like that. They're all pointing down. Mine are. So I'm just going to lay these together. You're going to match up your middle seam right here, nest it. And since we haven't ironed it yet, it's real easy to make one seam go one direction and the other seam go the other. So they'll lay really nice. There we go. I'm going to trim these threads here and press that open. So we're just going to iron this all nice and flat, and then it should be the perfect size to fit with this block. We're going to attach it with these going up and our color to the outside on this side, and we're just going to fold these over and sew them together. And you need 2 of those for each big block that you create. All righty. So let's press this open. So once you get your pieces together like this, there's going to be, and you're going to want to scrap them up. Then you're going to sew 2 of these together. So I have 2 right here. These are 2 halves that are nice and scrappy. And this one goes on the bottom. This one goes on the top. So your color goes out on these, and on the little ones, the color goes out as well. You're going to sew these 2 together as one big 4-patch, and you're going to get blocks that look like this. So how fun is this? You haven't had to square, you got to sew right on the lines, and you get a cool quilt like this. So when you're ready to set this quilt together, we just put the big blocks together. Let me show you how we did this. So I have a little stack of blocks here, and you just sew them together like this. Now let me look at my quilt here because I've got, okay, so our colors, these colors come together in the center like this. So that for me, that's my tell right there. I'm going to be putting my colors together in the center, and if I look at this as where my colors come together, then everything else is going to fit. So when you put a row together, you're going to want to make sure that your row is, you're lining up your big squares like this. So these are going to go here, your little squares are going to go here. And how many of these big blocks do we have in a row? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 across and 5 down. That makes 20 of these great big beautiful blocks. So I had such a great time making this. I think this is a genius idea. I hope you try these cake mix recipes, and we hope you enjoyed this tutorial on our Sweet Treats quilt from the Missouri Star Quilt Company.